sitting on this piece of brick here are lots of little bits of copper. And what I've done is some of them I've hammered and some of them I've twisted, and I've already soldered the pieces of metal together. These are going to be earrings that are going into an exhibition. Now that's a really long word. Do you know what an exhibition is? Have a look, ask your mum, and if you can't find an answer, come back and ask me. But you could always write in the comments when you know, Indigo. What I'm going to do is light my torch again, and then I have to use a different kind of solder. So when I'm soldering with copper, if I just move this down, I use this copper solder. Now the last one, the silver, I could cut into short pieces and it worked really well. But this is very interesting because when I heat up the copper, it turns into little tiny balls, and I then melt the balls. So I'm going to light the torch and show you what I mean. So I keep the torch well away from my hands, and I'm going to start on this piece here, and when I'm holding the solder, I'm a long way away. Now the end of the solder is making a little ball, and what I'm trying to do now is get that little ball to stick on there. So now I've got that little tiny ball, which is just here. Oh, and it's rolled off. I am going to decide whereabouts. Oh dear, look at that run away. I'm going to decide whereabouts I want the earring back to sit. So on there I'm going to say, well, it would be really hard to try and get that little ball to sit there, so it's going to go over on the other side. And these are little tiny pieces of silver that make the earring backs. So what I'm going to do is actually use this special tool. It's got legs, can you see? And I'm just going to use that to hold the earring back above that round ball, because that ball is what's going to hold the copper together. I'm going to push it over a little bit so I can actually get my pliers on the front there. Okay, so lighting the torch again, I'm going to take the earring back, I'm going to place it over that little ball of solder, ready for when it melts. So I heat up all of the copper, and what I want to wait for is the moment when that little piece of solder gets hot enough to melt. So here we go. Let's see how long it takes. It's a little bit longer than the silver because there's a big piece of copper underneath. Now you might notice that's just gone to liquid. So I'm now going to lift my torch away, and if you remember that, oh, I'm still a bit, I've got to be very careful not to lift it too early, otherwise I won't get the back on. So you can see it's stuck, and I'm going to take it, and there's my little jar again. You can see I've been doing a little bit of work, and I'm going to drop it in, and you're going to hear the hiss. Are you ready? There we go. And because it's copper, you can see the difference between the silver I've been working with and the copper, which has kind of gone a reddy colour when I've put it into that quench pot.